The news, good evening. More than 150 Spanish sailors arrived in Seychelles this morning. They arrived on board the Air Europa on a special flight directly from Madrid, Spain. The crew was then transferred to their respective vessels, which immediately left Port Victoria. This means they will be spending their time in quarantine on their vessels. 178 other Spanish sailors who were fishing in Seychelles' territorial waters left the country on the same flight. And Deltel is a local agent for around 11 of the 22 Spanish fishing vessels.
We've seen that the tourism industry is currently on hold, which is our main pillar for one of our main pillars for the economy. And right now, the only industry that's continuing to work is the fishing industry. So of course, we have to maintain the crew changes have to happen if we want the fishing industry to keep operating. It's also a matter of safety for the ships. It's a lot. It plays a lot on the mind of the seamen. They need to go home. They need to see their families. They need to refresh their minds and then come back to work.
The Seychelles Civil Aviation Authority, the SCAA, says that in general, the operations at the airport this morning went well, though there is always room for improvement.
For this morning, after all our preparation meetings twice, we have seen that operations have masked quite good. However, there's been some slight problems with the social distancing. This is the first time we're doing this operation. We know we can do much better, and we will discuss with all our key stakeholders how we can tackle this. I would like to add the SCAA is always pleased to work with all our stakeholders, how we can conduct these operations, and we'll continue to work with everyone concerned to ensure the safety of all passengers arriving in Seychelles is maintained at 100%.
The SCAA is implementing several measures at the Amitié Airport on Praslin to adapt to the new normal after the country's partial lockdown due to COVID-19. There have been changes in sitting arrangements in the departure lounge, and reflective tape has been put on the floor in front of the check-in desks to ensure social distancing. A wash basin with a soap dispenser has also been installed at the entrance, and paper towels and bins are also available. The national carrier Air Seychelles has announced that starting tomorrow, Monday the 11th, they will be implementing new health and safety measures for domestic travel. A new sequence for boarding will be implemented where guests will be advised to board the aircraft as per their assigned seats in numerical order. Air Seychelles has in a press release said that guests will need to wash or sanitize their hands prior to boarding and will need to wear their own masks during the 15-minute flight. Air Seychelles will be disinfecting all Twin Otter aircrafts upon arrival of each flight. Staff members will also be wearing masks and gloves during check-in procedures and during the flight. There are calls for Seychelles to develop itself as a center for tech innovation to help cushion the economic impact of COVID-19. Business leaders say the government should support digital industries as experts predict a sharp fall in tourist numbers. It comes as the Commonwealth is encouraging its members, including Seychelles, to help each other recover.
Juan Gopal's digital media company is among a select few in Seychelles that's embracing the potential of the internet. But 2 years after launching, his business based at Providence is already seeing the importance of an agile, flexible approach.
We had a lot of contracts with hotels and guest houses, but since we don't have any tourists coming into the country, they've sort of had to pause on their contracts. And we've switched to small businesses wanting to go online.
Tech industries could prove key to Seychelles' future: e-commerce, cybersecurity and more. The National Institute for Science, Technology and Innovation believes more support is needed for innovation, and Seychelles living abroad can help.
The diaspora, a lot of them have got a lot of great networks. because they can be a professional working for a university or a research lab, but they have a network that can be very, very important, because knowledge is the more network in terms of tapping into knowledge is better.
Diversification away from traditional industries such as tuna fishing and tourism may now be imperative. The Commonwealth says world trade could contract by up to 32% after COVID. The outbreak is forecast to lead to the collapse of airlines and mass job losses in Seychelles' core tourist markets.
We should not be thinking the norm, based on the norm. It's a new norm now. We should be thinking like some people will say, but Peter is crazy. But that's an entrepreneur. You need to be crazy to become an entrepreneur and make money.
The government says the activation of a second undersea telecoms cable next year will provide the necessary backup to reassure tech investors, along with other infrastructure. But it takes time.
I think this diversification is a slow process, because it takes time for you to put all, it's not just a matter of telling people, for example, come and invest in ICT. On our side as well, we need to put all the infrastructure in place to attract investment within that sector, and that is a slow process.
Seychelles' advantageous time zone, 4 hours ahead of GMT, placing it neatly between Europe and the Far East, is among the factors thought likely to attract fresh opportunities in the digital world.
And with this, we end this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant evening.